double, some variants, shall we say, from the evil geniuses. So that one's a little bit more open. So if we can make a 3-mapper of this, I think it could be anyone's game. But for the time being, Strife the underdogs, EG definitely the favorites. That's the way it's going to be, and we're going to be hopping into the server in just a moment here. Let's get things underway.
Yeah, and you know who hasn't been inconsistent for EG though, Mike?
Who?
Junior.
He
has been consistently incredible. He has been above and beyond the best player for EG over the last 3 months. The thing is, the other players, the rest of his squad isn't really stepping up with him sometimes, and that's the problem. He needs support.
It on in seems to be coming through. That shot was quite a ripper from Aris. Didn't even really see it. Just too quick. Okay, he was not the player graffiti. I thought that was somehow a graffiti headshot for a player we couldn't even see, but hey, it's working out pretty well for them so far. Shout out to our lovely observer Ches, having a fun time with this pistol now. Here, going to get a little bit of a kill going back the other way, and now we got a round on our hands. They're going to go up Con, and this is a foot race towards the site. Rotation required here for Strife as Aris and Stamina try and get back in action. They'll be here. They'll beat the T's. Now we got an out-and-out duel for A. 50 seconds. You could dump back down. But instead, they're going to duel, and a prolonged engagement works out well for EG. Bomb going down. Little that Joels can do about this, and he's 45 damage away from death.
It's a fantastic recovery here for EG, as Joels, like you mentioned, doesn't have much to work with here. No util, sure, he's got the body armor at least, but that won't matter because the shot goes straight through his skull. Junior gets the killing blow, and that's 1-0 in favor of EG.
We will have X-ray sorted in just a few moments, hopefully. We're getting things sorted on out.
Yes.
And now, as I get a separate conversation in my ears while casting, we're going to have a little bit of a play around here. Stamina takes first blood. That's a nice start here with the scout. He's taking a nade back in turn. Down about a third of the health. And he's taken out. That's a bit of a fine exchange for EG, right? They got to be wary about this calm player, though. Joels could be a thorn in their side, but he doesn't want to press the issue as soon as they'd be watching for him. There was actually a moment, perhaps, to strike, but instead he'll play it safe and he'll back away.
So 4v4 here. Hexed, waiting, guarding that connector with the Galil he's got, or actually AK in his hands. Aris setting up a crossfire with his teammate here. Snakes onto the A site. In fact, the A site is reinforced, so this is where Strife want EG to go, and it looks like it's where EG wants to go to. Or not. I don't know. Well, they got 3 players leaning in this position. 1 player is going through connector, looking around, seeing if anyone's in the lower tunnels. But the execute is indeed coming A, Mike.
That it is. Aris close up by the signpost. This could get spicy. This could be interesting. Oh, can't zero it in with the CZ. Gotta have some precision with that machine pistol, and not to be had. George will be dropped, but it's 1 for 1, and that's A-okay. Joel's, he's got a fair bit. Might want to save it. Tries to fight it. Gets loss of half of his health, but he does win the engagement still. No chance to force the round. And we got X-ray.
Hey, nice. Yeah, good effort there by Strife at the very least, but unable to close it out as the evil geniuses lose 3 guns. So there's something there, but overall they should be able to buy up here without too much of a fuss, especially considering that Strife are going to be mostly on Nico here. Stamina's got a lot of money, but he's saving it for the big green, and Stamina is, or has been, the most impactful player here on this Strife roster since rejoining them, right? Because he used to be a part of this roster, but then decided to go and rejoin them for Season 44, and he's got 195 frags, or had 195 frags in the playoffs this season in ECL, plus 15 kill to death differential, and 15 3-kill plus rounds. So he's been very important with that op. And as mentioned, highest impact rating as well at 1.2. 4. Hex to get the opener here into Monster, and only gets one. Traded out. Rush is going to try and prevent them from getting the AK, but he can't. Wow, the USP singing here for Strife.
Problem is no one's in position over towards A. They've read it. Now they're going to be able to have a post plant. Junior the tip of the spear. Yes, it's just 2 SMGs, but unarmored opponents on the other side, SMGs will cut through them like butter. Stamina wants to go for a bit of a cheeky peek here. I don't mind it, but he's not seeing anything. They're not giving him anything for free. And he's making a little bit too many attempts. Walco will find the first. Time going to be an issue. This round should be well under control now for EG. Snake's just going to try and save the gun that he's got. Junior will make a little extra cash, and that's a nice recovery after a bit of a wobble for the Geniuses.
Yeah, good to see Evil Geniuses have their wits about them here. It's a good sign moving forward, at least for them, that they're able to recover from these questionable starts right to the rounds. Something that really did throw them for a loop up against ATK, at least in their last match that they played. So they have that 3-0 lead, but it wasn't easy getting there still because they lost a few guns a few too many times. Although they did keep 3 up and running there. The question is, do you want to keep the MAC-10s, go for the bonus round? I guess why not? Junior's going to invest into the AWP, though, and Hexed into an AK since they lost their weapons in that round. Over on Strife, they got an AK save. That was Snake, ducking and covering. And that's pretty good for them because they didn't invest much at all into round number 3. Joel's going to toss that nade immediately. Over towards... exit from Upper Tons. And just have a 3-man setup for Strife on the B side. In fact, a 4th leaning in from Heaven. This is a good read from Strife.
Oh! Quite the swing from Rush. Strife did have the numbers on, but losing 2, that's not going to be ideal, especially considering the limited buyout from the EG side. Tags on the stamina. Needs to have this op have influence. There's still another smoke as well to cover off sightlines. Aris wants to try and work an angle here. They might not expect this with the Molotovs just having faded. Aris won't be able to deny the bomb, and there's a couple of kills. That's the activation. Further smoke up. George able to play the sightlines. He's quick on it. Get that execution. He finds it. The next not available to him, but the trade is there. It's going to be the AWP. Walco. Chance to shut this down. Stamina wants to clear Monster. If he does, he knows he's got the sightlines. He's going to have to get on this stick. How's the kit? He's going to trust it. The spam through. It will be good. Nicely played from Walco.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. I mean, George goes down. He's right there for the trade, so George's life is not in vain, and afterwards just rotates around, waits for his opportunity to strike against that last player standing in Stamina. And even though Stamina goes for the smoke defusal, arguably the right play in that decision, Walco knows exactly where that bomb was planted and sprays him down easily. Timeout going to be called from Strife to talk things over here, as it is a nice start for Evil Geniuses. Another couple of problems I would say that Evil Geniuses were having against ATK and throughout the playoffs, Mike, is George just couldn't really activate. There was one series when he did really well, and outside of that, not really present. So that was tough for them to recover from. I understand, he's still getting used to playing with Hex, of course, and it's no longer Stanislav by his side, but we'll see if that continues to improve because they did show up very well on that one map of Nuke, right? When they were playing, I think, was it against Strife? Yeah, it was against Strife, where they played really well with each other and bounced off each other in such a fantastic way.
I think one of the things that's interesting about George within this roster, and George is a player in general, as we've come to know him over the last few years. He, despite having clearly a skill set that could allow him to be something of a star player, right? We've seen it at times, especially thinking back to the NIRMR last go around. I don't think he needs to be, if that makes sense. I think that he's very content to be a piece of the machine. His teammates have talked about it at times.
Rush.
Joel's gonna find one. And so I think that provided things are working, provided Hex is hitting, Junior's hitting, George is happy maybe to do a roll and then rise up when he's needed. But maybe needed in this round. They're down a man early.
Yeah, and I guess that's the first one I was mentioning. The second one is kind of related, right? Adjusting to Hex being in this roster, no longer having Stan. I think Stan was an important voice on the team. Maybe not always the case in terms of fragging power, but he helped Walco for sure in terms of calls and mid-rounding and stuff like that. And maybe not having that anymore is maybe going to be an issue for them.
One saw it was always a little bit of a hard one to read, especially after he Took himself off of IG yelling. But do seem to get some audio cues. It's the 3-man stack in towards the site. They trip into this. It's a very good hold for Strife, and that seems to be the case. This is going to be an execution on towards B. They've got no second option. They don't have any information towards Con either. 25 seconds. They're going through. The utility's going to sail over, and 3 players towards this monster side is going to be tough. What do they strike? What do they strike? Going to start to make noise. Here's the wrap around. No one's watching for the pillar play. Joel's 1 for 1. Now the spot's there, but they can't recover. They can't recover the kills. There's too many bodies. They never expected to have this many on the monster side of the map.
That was rough, though, in terms of the shots as well from EG. Strife catching them off guard completely, and Evil Geniuses really could never adjust. Like you said, didn't realize how much manpower was there on the B site, and Strife finally cracked the scoreboard for their first round. Looking at the money situation for EG, should be able to get a decent buy-up with some creative accounting here. Hex is going to have to settle for the Tech 9, but that's not too bad considering they've got the op, they got the 2 AKs, 2 Galils, and the lone AK for Rush. On the other end, Strife also struggling a little bit with their economy. They got an MP9 of Hamas to deal with, but an op, an AK, and an A1S around it. So pretty even buy-up, all things considered, for both squads. Stamina, flashed out. Backs off for a second and comes right back out to drop the Opper and Junior, so he wins that duel. And then loses the one over at Long to Walco, so both ops are gone.
Didn't expect that pace. Didn't expect to get caught towards Long that early. Oh, I think George was just spotted. I think an ankle was spotted. That could have been a massive pass around, but instead I think they're aware. So Infant's going to come back up to support. Aris is going to focus here towards Long. Oh, no, Aris. Cannot win that duel. Good. That was a prime opportunity, but the Famoose betrays him. And Rush, a snappy headshot, now puts them in a really tough spot. Joel's trying to make a move up top con. He's being held. And this is getting a little disastrous. Infinite wants to chase a frag, but he's got to be careful. 4 players at hand. He'll get the kill, the trade. No, he somehow lives. He's the man who survives.
Snakes is
comes
gone.
in to drop Snakes, but this is tough. 29 HP and an MP9. What do you even do here? A reposition. Audio cue. Shows it. And the bomb's down now, John.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much Infinite can do in this situation. Sure, he might get some chip damage, as he does, but then he goes down to Hex, who finds himself at 3K with the op he picked up off the ground. So Hex not too shabby with the big green, showing Rush how it's done. 5-1 in favor of EG. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm going to keep going with that for a while.
With the what? The 5-1?
No, I said Hex is showing Rush how it's done with the op.
Ah, yes. Rush the offer. Rush the offer. Quintessential. It's not like that gun. But if Nuke comes out, we got Nuke in the pool here.
Maybe
we'll
see
Rush the offer again.
Yeah.
Airburst Molly, that's not great. Let's see if they can punish the failed util. Survey says still pretty tough. Emina committing in the smoke fade. Can't land a single Deeg shot. I know that feeling. Oh,
I think we all know it all too well.
Sometimes the Deeg is hitting. Sometimes it's not. We gonna hit? Junior. Not missing much there.
Nope. 5v3 in favor of EG. Strife going for some aggression here into Monster. Infinite will likely end up at T-spawn, so a potential flank developing here for Strife. It is going to be watched. Yeah.
Oh, John.
Walco's got his knife out.
Knife out. It's going to get weird. Now they know. Oh, no. Run. Junior, run. 45 seconds. This could be the round. Junior, though. He's going to get chased down eventually. Rush is there and on the scene. Johnny on the spot. And that's going to be Aris cleaned up for the last player to falter on out of the round. That nearly got real weird.
Yeah, if Rush isn't there for the immediate trade, they're in trouble, right? Because the bomb is going to go down right at the feet of Strife. But he is there, and everything is A-OK. And Evil Geniuses hang on to get a 6th round. But, you know, a lot of these little mistakes that are happening here were getting punished when they were playing against ATK. Strife is not, because they're just missing out on those micro opportunities to really gain that advantage. But it still feels like there's some rough edges around EG's game right now. Aris gonna hop for some information. He did see them there, decided not to toss the util though. And now they're probably expecting the boost to come through. At least wary of the possibility. Hext going up.
Ooh. Oh, he
Ooh,
spotted
they're
one.
not really watching here.
I think he saw one. Nade comes back the other way, so that's the check for the boost. Maybe just for a single player holding, you would often work a lurk into this position. An Infinite.
Yeah,
Infinite's peeking for it, perhaps. Oh, we'll give it up.
Okay.
Boost us with no payoff us.
1 minute on the clock now. EG looking like they're making a full readjustment here, potentially towards A site. Stamina is going to catch off Walco, trying to sneak out of connector, and there's the opening frag in the first minute of the round.
So they're going to get funneled in towards B, it seems, which is very much the way Strife would be hoping. This is going to again be the two-man towards monster setup. They're going to contact. That flashbang's good. Hex is out. Oh, he reads the next. He'll die. Well worth it. Well worth the price of admission. He's pulled the rotate. He's some chaos. 30 seconds. They're headed into a vacant A site. Oh, the full rotate commit. That one's going to sting as Strife realized they've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. This bomb's going down. Disengagement at dumpster is everything. Joel gets that. Might get the next as well. He does indeed. Great initiative from Joel's to get back on the angle. And Stamina, a ripper of his shot on that duel. What a recovery for Strife.
Yeah, absolutely, because EG really pulled the rug out from under them with that rotation back to the A site. But Joel's, who was really missing in action in the ECL playoffs, does come through with a very critical 2K. And after that, Stamina with a great shot onto the last player standing. So a second round secured for Strife, although it was trending in EG's favor for a moment. Timeout going to be called. The second timeout already being used by Strife here, Mike. That's very early on to burn 2.
Perhaps, but they probably got an image in their head of how many they need to get from the CT side. And if they don't follow up with a win here, it's going to be very tough to do much of anything in this first half, right? That's the thing. The money is going to be fully reinvested. It's going to be just about a prime reset opportunity, maybe a little bit of cash in reserve. So you got to chain 2 here. So it's a good call. It's a good call to recognize the importance of this early swing round, round number 9. Surely we're getting a buy around this up.
Yeah, there's no way Junior's glass cannoning a buy up around him.
There's plenty of money here, fellas. All right, let's see what he's got with the glass cannon AVP. Stamina is very isolated. Joel's is holding super far back for the con play. So Stamina, after rings that shot, he just has to run. Man's got a half marathon just to get to safety.
He made it, though.
Bathrooms. He has made it. Walco's trying to find Joel's here. Oh, flashbang doesn't catch. Aris trying to set up his teammates from the other side. Stamina will find that kill, but the chase is on. He knows he has to get out of here, and he's able to do so. Spacing maybe a little lacking here for EG. Allows Stamina out of that engagement. Now, reinforcements are here. But X is continuing to develop this B lurk. At some point, he might give a little poke in towards the site. If he finds one kill, could get a little vacant. Gonna mass and go. Snakes is, or rather, Infinite is rotating down at the right time. Snake's already on the site. So a 2-on-4 in the hold. Very little utility to show. Actually, none to the CT side. This is gonna be a toughie. They just gotta shoot their way out.
Yeah. Snakes and Infinite. The crossfire set up. Oh, Infinite looks the wrong way. Timing is terrible, and Rush gets Snakes as well. Aris and Stamina looking to recover here, but it might just be the best idea might be to just save here, and that's what they're going to do. Cannot commit to that fight with very little economy.
That's brutal. That's a problem with being out of nades, right? Yeah. It's always the problem. You have to rely on your crosshair, and if you miss that first engagement, if you mistime it, it spirals real quick. So, nice punish coming through from EG. We talked about how important that round was for Strife. They can't capitalize. It means we've got 7 on the round for EG, and we get the money all sorts of funky over on the Strife side. I think they probably scrape a buy here because I think the loss bonus is still built up. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No question.
With those two
Joel's at
saved guns, it'll be
5.8,
all right.
And the 2 saved guns, yes. They are fine. But on the scoreboard, they're not fine, Mike. This is a CT-sided map, all things considered, and they got 2 rounds. They need way more than that. Still a lot of time, still a lot of rounds left to be played here in this first half of action, but it's not trending well right now. And this is another important round for them, although loss bonus at 3,400, 2 saved guns, and 3 players have 1.4k or more, so maybe even if they lose it, they'll have a bye, but they also need to get the rounds on the board, so we'll see if they can do that here. Junior and Hex get opening frags onto Stamina and Snakes, and there you go. 1-2 punch right into Monster.
Oh, talk about a gut punch. Interesting that Strife have 2 mines with this buy. Infinite now picking up his teammates up. He's just rooting on his teammates' downfall to get him the gun. It's like, I don't need to buy one, you'll die. Jules pulls him off in this position, at least for the moment. He'll fall back towards site. This should slow EG up. The one Achilles heel we repeatedly see for EG on these T sides is that they really like to take their time. And at moments, if you throw some confusing looks at them at the sort of minute mark into a round, sometimes they short circuit and do not leave themselves a lot of clock to actually get on site with.
Especially on Inferno and Overpass, Mike.
Yeah. I don't think Joel's has done enough of that yet. It's been spotted. They're going to throw a full exec and rotate. This is complicating things when you have a 4-on-3. It's going to work. They've pulled everybody here for Strife. And that's the whole idea, right? Because they know Strife's at a disadvantage, Strife has to full rotate to even have a chance to compete in this round. And because they've done so, bomb's going down, but there's not another smoke, so they'll have to wait this Molotov. This gives a chance at least for Strife to say something. Infinite just hitting the timing shot. There you go. All right, just blind firing, knows his lineups, and the Molotov ticked him low enough that was a killing blow. Now it's a 3-on-3. What was looking like a probable save could be a look in, but with Joel's not making a move to do so, yeah, this is going to be a save. They're not interested.
He keeps connecting, though. Oh, Junior finally caught him out. And I mean, look, you got to save at this point. And even before that, they didn't have the util, Mike. They only had a flashbang. And I think Joel's just picked that up off the ground.
I'm also wondering, this is again a situation where it feels like the teams have 2 mines. Infinite's taking shots in towards site. Joel's is already exploring party. That's not players on the same page. One of them is thinking about the retake or at least opening up the possibility. But even if he gets another kill there, Infinite, they're playing 2 on 2. It's not, they don't have the advantage.
Or he's just being really aggressive in the save, but it doesn't make sense either because the money is really good for EG. So you're right. I think that's just disjointed comms or just players not communicating enough. 8-2 in favor of EG here. They've already taken this first half of action. But as mentioned, the money's still good for Strife because they managed it well in that previous round. So they're going to have a full-on buy up here. It's going to be an A4, an AK, 2 A1Ss in the op. EG, their economy's fantastic. So they got the 4 AKs in the op, no problem at all. Here comes Rush, taking a lot of space very quickly. He will be the tip of the spear. Stamina's peeking into it and gets 1. I thought he would get 2 there. He does eventually. It's not the Colat, but a nice little sequence.
Right.
Great response from Hex in return, though, as Stamina and Infinite are dropped to the ground. So it's evened out at a 3v3 as George continues to take the space as well. He's almost into Monster, now backs off.
I'm amazed they backed off once they had that foothold.
Yeah.
Right, he was just looking to catch 1 more, but they reset. Where's the util at? 2 mollies of smoke? Yeah, I mean, it's viable. They might see if they can pick up more off of their comrades' bodies. An extra smoke would go a long way here. If they can find it. Extra molly. So Junior gets that at least, but I think it's just going to be that bottle. So set up George to throw the util, and it seems like it's going to be Aris who's got pressure coming his way. This is still the reinforced site, so it's not a bad idea. Junior. Oh, ripper of a shot.
Wow.
Takes a dink, but makes good on it. Now they're throwing the mollies. Now they're trying to make them very uncomfortable. Util sailing all over. Joel's going to be a little bit away in this rotate. Stuck by the Molotovs. He's trying to tick it. He'll actually smoke it off himself to get in and help his teammate out. Snakes and Joel's, what do they got for us? Recoverable, perhaps, but Joel's falling means it's all on Snakes. This would be the play. of the map so far, and it's not going to happen. 4 huge kills in that round for Hex. He dragged it back after the initial exchange, and then he makes good on the round altogether.
Yeah, that was the first 2 are the most important, no questions asked, because Stamina did a fantastic job, just misses the goal, adding his bullet just went slightly wide of hitting that second body, and then afterwards he swings around to find himself a second frag anyway, but still Hex responding in that way, no hesitation, charged right out, got 2 instant frags. That's the value he brings this EG squad, opening frags for his team. 9-2. In favor of EG and Strife. I mean, they got the full loss bonus, so they continue to be able to buy up, but you have to feel like in this next round after this, should they lose again, it's going to be tougher. But I understand their predicament, right? They need rounds. They got to try and buy up whatever is possible, and that's what they're going to continue doing here. Oh, those nades almost taking Snakes down, but he's just a bit to the left of him, so he doesn't take 100 damage. Stamina. Ooh, Stamina.
Oh my goodness.
Junior's waiting. Oh, and he can't get it. He's got the bomb.
And there's a second as well. Now full bomb control. 2 kills found. They kill another top con. This is disaster. An individual play from Stamina is just taking control of this round. Unimpeded flanking. And Stamina, now he'll finally be laid to rest, but this would be an even more impressive recovery. Young Hexed. 50 seconds. Some time to operate. He expects another, potentially back at the flank. There's no one here. So, listen to the club beats. Next. That just goes into the... Does that go out of the map? I guess it does.
I think so.
I don't know whether it just went into the trash pile and off to his right, but it's getting rid of ops. Yeah, okay, it does go. He actually checked. I like that. Did I, in fact, get rid of the op? Is there a player there? I don't know. Let's find out. X gonna make a move. Economic damage here is still a value. Oh, nearly gets the shots through, but Infinite's able to close that one. And so the AK will be given over. Strife get a little bit of life back into this map.
Yeah, they got aggressive. They got into the face of EG, which is what you have to do against a team that likes to play very slow. Yes, oftentimes you'll get caught out because a player's going to be watching the flank, but sometimes, like right there, you can catch them off guard, and they're just not ready for any type of push to be coming through. And Stamina gets 2, gets the bomb at his feet, and after that, the round is pretty much over. EG can never really reply. But their economy's still strong enough to absorb that and get a full-on buy up here, 4 AKs, and the op here comes out aggression again. I think they have to do it. Joel spots out the op and gets Junior in the head through the wall, though. So it's not going to be a kill, despite the fact that I think 2 shots connected there. Hanging around. I can't believe they don't know he's there or not even aware of it. George was coming out without his gun already ready to fire. And Joel's finds the first. Now they know, but I mean, he's got some reinforcements. Maybe no, they're just going to leave him to his own devices. And why not if he's going to keep getting frags, Mike?
Tons of damage being done. He's struggling to deal with his adaptation out, and they're going to have to waste so much time just accounting for Joel's. Finally, he's dead, but we've got a minute left on the clock. There's a lot of work still to do. That's a heck of a disruption for one player. It's like they might try and fight out towards long. It's an engagement with Stamina, but Stamina's actually backed away. Wisely, Strifer saying they haven't cleared anything on this map. If we just play sites, they're going to have no time by the time they're actually hitting. I like this awareness. I like this adjustment. In this kind of a man advantage, just play sites. Just keep it calm, cool, collected. 35 seconds on the clock. What are we going to get from these last 2 players of EG?
They don't have any smokes. It's not going to be easy.
This could be a save.
Site. Yeah. I don't know. Hex is posturing to try and take this, though.
Look at Junior.
No, it's over. Yeah. You're
That's
right.
the bomb. Junior's like, I'm going to go down the slide. That sounds more fun to me. You can try and fight. I need an op. Man saw James win a major. Said, I need this gun.
Counter-terrorists win.
Stamina could get hexed here. No, hexed. Good for it. So, couple of guns saved over. Buy-up will be a little bit rough, though, for EG. George, Walco, and Rush all below the 3K mark. So, you could potentially justify the force buy around these 2 guns. Might be better just to go down to the 2K mark, though.
I said go for it. They're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it.
I like it. I don't mind this. Give yourself 2 force buys. This one's decent. You crack this round through. Boom. Double digits. That's all you need. If you don't, Tech9's fast play in towards B next round. Just rip it. Stamina. He's revealed the op's presence. He's been a real thorn in their side, and they're going to look to catch him, but he's away. He's away. Still, they take the space. They're being sucked into it. Walco wanting to chase this is getting a ton of room in towards bathrooms, and look at this. Strife want to gamble 4 towards B. So the more space that Walco finds, the more confident he's getting that maybe his teammates need to join him, and the bomb shifting to do so just now. This could be a really tough spot for Strife. For once, EG have taken control quickly, and I don't think Strife are accounting for that.
No, they're definitely not ready for that type of quick control. Walco's waiting there for his team to join him. And as soon as they get there, they have limited util, so it's probably just going to be the straight execute onto the A side. I doubt they're going to have any shenanigans up their sleeve here.
Flashbang exchange. Joel's mostly needs to stall out, and he's dead right off the first phase. That's a big problem. Aris rotating in. He's not even going to be enough. He's just the first wave, right? He's barely able to get through the choke points. Dumping util to try and slow this, but this bomb's going down. Man advantage in the post. A gun picked up for Walco. Life is looking peachy. You're over in that EG camp. Money's not good for Strife. There's a world where they don't even go for this. They're backing off. They're done. They're punting. It's double digits. Nothing Strife can do about it, John.
Yeah, gotta save here for the last round. Even though Infinite and Aris have some cash, their loss bonus is not good enough to absorb too many guns being dropped to the ground. So they want to keep the op and the AK most importantly, but they should be able to upgrade to A1Ss pretty much across the board. Maybe have to settle for Moss there for that last round of play, but good on EG. Great maneuvering. As you mentioned, fast play into bathrooms. Walco gets the early control, and it sets up Junior to go for a comfortable peek outwards after a flash is thrown. Then he gets that frag onto Joel's, and all the smokes and util get tossed onto A. It couldn't have been drawn up better for EG, and Strife being so out of position, decide, well, 4-man save is the call. And indeed, they will have pretty much a full-on buy-up as a result of that 4-man save. So they set themselves up to be in the best position possible here in round number 15, but they still need this round 4. I don't feel like it's enough on Overpass, Mike. It's not terrible, but CT side Overpass needs more than that.
Swing. Hex caught. Shut down with no impact. Rare to say that in a round, but look at this. Look at the space that's being afforded over towards A, and look at the group, the mob that's going to fill it. Joel's again going to be on his lonesome. He spotted one. He spotted. Junior's holding for a peek back in. Begging for it. Rotations are here. Junior can't connect on that first, and now they may realize it's a little bit more than they were counting for on A. Still plenty of time.
Yeah.
Walco's still through Monster Tunnel. Oh, this is going to get interesting. Walco's through Monster Tunnel. When does he call the cancel for his team?
Jules could catch them here, though. He's slipped in towards those short bathrooms and in short A.
George has bomb.
Exactly.
The exec util's coming through. Jules catches it. That drops the C4. Now they don't have the luxury of bailing out. Had no idea Jules was just on the other side of that thin wall now. They're in trouble. And all that space that Walco gained, it doesn't matter. It's all for naught. This one's going by the wayside. So looking like a 5th round, at least for Strife. Less than 30 seconds, Walco can change our mind. So give it a look. Give it a peek. But taking his time is not the answer when you've got enough time to spare. Now 15 on the board. I don't even think he can win it on time, and he won't win it on the gun either. Quite the showing here for Strife in the final round, but the rounds were few and far between, right? Double digits on the board for EG off of their T side. It's pretty dang good, John.
Yeah, not too bad at all there for Strife and EG. I mean, Strife getting that 5th round. I like the way they played aggressive, of course. You know, Joel's pushing up there. And, well, anyway, we'll have to talk more about it after we take a quick break.
Hey Future Pros! I saw Big doing a nifty little boost on Nuke during the European Minor Open qualifiers. so I thought I'd quickly show you all how to recreate it. To do this boost, you'll need 2 Future Pros and 1 AWP. Future Pro number 1, you'll be acting as the stool. It's important work and your contribution is appreciated. Run over and hop onto the far left railing and crouch down. When Future Pro 2 is on your head, stand when they jump and then just chill out. Future Pro number 2, you will get to have all the fun. Follow Future Pro 1 and get onto their head using the close railing. Jump again to allow your stool to stand. Now aim towards this gap and line yourself up so this railing lines up with the edge of the direct close wall. Position your scope so you're aiming just below the painted blue section. Then fire your AWP when the timer is just about to change from 148 to 147. Here you can see the exact moment when CSN made his shot. And that's it. With a bit of luck and a willing teammate, I'm sure you can hit this shot at least 1 in every 100 rounds. Good luck.
I carry you wherever I go. You're in my heart till I'm weak and old. I carry you, you're bright in my soul, making me glow. I carry you wherever I go. I can see your face in a crowd of millions. No one can take your place. The only one that can guide me through the maze. You're my favorite song on the radio. All of me, my spirit and halo. You're my comfort, my rhythm and blues. You're the headlines in the morning news. I carry you. I carry you wherever I go. You're in my heart till I'm weak and old. I carry you, you're bright in my soul, making me glow. I carry you wherever I go. I carry you till I'm weak and old. I carry you wherever I go. Wherever I go.
We've got EG Black and we've got Strife going square to square in a game of Overpass. First game in this series. 10-5 is the scoreline in the first half here, John.
Yes.
Thank you for your contribution here, John. We're just going to adopt a nice, easy cruising pattern into this pistol round. Looks like we got an early setup outside of the monster tunnel en route to B, but potential delays here as Hex looks for first contact. Utility is looking mighty refreshed. Couple smoke, Molotov, flash, trying to get through this choke point. There is a kit on the other side, so in event of a retake, be prepared to deploy that defuse kit to dismantle the bomb.
Oh, indeed. 1:15 on the clock. So
Some
Mike's got
signs
into
of
pilot mode here.
turbulence here, as it does seem like they're just in a holding pattern outside of B, waiting for some sort of an indication from traffic control that they are okay to begin their taxiing procedure. Stamina might just be that traffic control right now. Stamina, not seeing anything whatsoever. This is the longest we've gone in a round without contact in a long time. Stamina, a bit of a fake. He's going to get caught, and that'll just lead to a little bit of a rerouting here, but it pulls pressure away from B just in the nick of time for this execute to come through. Hex, back of the pillar, striking good, 2 big kills, the USB sailing, and a little bit of a blunder from George now means we got a good chance for this bomb to be planted. Oh, even better.
Great chance.
Conditions clear for a landing as that C4 comes to a gentle rest at the B-side airport. Walco making a chance at the retake. Busters to the locked position, and Snakes into the headshot.
Strife settling themselves into the terminal there, finding a 6th round on that B take. Really nicely done, especially considering the EG had the opening frags. They were recovered marvelously, right? And just a great job, great frags found as they get a 6th round on the board. EG going to force up here. It's going to be a couple of 5.7s, 2 Deagles, and the Scout on their side. Still, of course, have a sizable lead here at 4 rounds, but that can quickly get cut into off of Strife's pistol round victory. We'll see if EG has what it takes here on their force buy, or if Strife can cruise along to a 7th. George. Gonna be moving around here with the 5.7, trying to take that aggressive posturing. Hasn't seen anyone yet, and it's going to be really important for EG here. The amount of information George gets, and also if he's able to get an engagement and survive and maybe find a frag. I don't know how long he's going to stick around here. Now, he got the info, and he's going to fall back. So he's probably calling for reinforcements onto the B site, or at least one player to rotate back and help him out.
Thing is, this will stall out Strife's take, because they have to clear con. And they've done exactly that. Okay, let's ground on in. Now pressure in towards the B side. That's a nice nade. Bit of a touchdown on George. Not quite the full score, but soften him up. Strife taking their time with this one again. Waiting for the smoke to fade, waiting for the response in. And that last little drip of utility out from EG has been just about spent, but this is going to drag the stack on through. Walco's on the angle now to support. I think Junior's here as well. He is indeed. So everybody's looking. They're ready for this hit to come in. Strife have made no noise anywhere else on the map, so they're walking straight into the crosshairs. Let's see if they can still pull off this take. Contact on, damage done. There's 2 bodies falling by the wayside. Hex making noise. Joel's trying to find an answer here, and Hex gets the rifle off. It won't make a difference, though. Joel's with a Glock.
Look at Stamina's health and time.
Making good. It's a big issue. It's a big issue. There's the first face, but Stamina, he's ready for it on the crosshair. Scout peppering them both down, but Stamina, a timely headshot to seal the deal.
What did I tell you about Stamina? He's a player that really is standing on his head, helping his team out both in the calls and in the fragging department. Right there, he gets 2 critical ones below 20 HP, but he doesn't receive another shot to his body. Well done. 7th round picked up. EG were threatening in such a big way. Hex in particular, wow, 20 and 9. He's doubled up on pretty much anyone else in the squad. Junior, maybe not quite doubled up, but Junior's the next one behind him at 11 frags. But, man, oh man, Strife really pulled that one back nicely when it looked hairy.
You see that was
Into
like
round number 18.
Like a mohair type of situation. Cashmere. The hairy. Or like a wire hair. What do you think, John?
Whatever you like.
There's a tick. There's a tick on that Molotov. They know. They know. So I'll try and activate, but Snakes is ready to catch them. He unhinges his jaw and swallows the CT's whole. Strife, if you take your time in this round, then you're overextending here. Aris might get caught, though. He's lonesome, dueling off with Hex, and he will be good for it. They have been patient so far in these T rounds. And, well, it's working out. It's working out very nicely.
Yeah, but now we got the guns for EG, so we'll see if it continues working out against full-on and proper buy-ups after winning that pistol round and the 2 follow-ups. They did struggle in the force buy. That one was a lot easier, right? Because there were just USPs pretty much for Evil Geniuses, but now they'll have the 2 A4s, the A1Ss, and an AWP for Junior. And Junior now on the CT side with the op will be a much scarier customer for Strife to deal with.
Looking for that early fight. Util to block him off.
Ooh,
timing
timing
shot, but it doesn't land. Still, it puts them on notice. The op has come to play. This is a tough cookie. They will have to contend with it. They want further control. Walco, can he get away? Oh, had no idea Stamina was past him. Had no clue there. And so 1 for 1 is actually well and good as far as Strife are concerned.
Walco would have been better off waiting to get back to cover before reloading. Still had a decent amount of rounds in his magazine. There's going to be an engagement here into Monster. Joel's waiting for them. He's going to get 1 and a second for almost free. George finds stamina, but that's still a man advantage found for Strife as Rush is trying to close the gap, but he's by his lonesome. He's got a lot to deal with until Junior gets here.
Rush hears all this. They're not watching for him. Yes, they are. Actually, never mind. Infinite Ever the aware one.
You gotta save for Junior.
Yeah, he's out of here. He's out of Dodge. He is getting the heck off the scene of the crime. That's a complete non-starter of a rifle round. The aggression towards Playground works out until it really doesn't, and then a push out of Monster was doomed from the start. Trying to take the initiative in their first gun round cost EG dearly. And so we will see this gap just shrink to 1.
Yeah. Strife. Not doing too shabbily here, given their lackluster CT side. It was obviously much better at 5 than it would have been at 4 as they got that last round of the first half, but still, usually you want to see a little bit more. Luckily for them, EG's off to a considerably slow start here in this second half, and their T-sides look pretty strong. They're just taking their time, you know, going for some executes when the opening presents itself. And presents itself. I'm going to get the words out eventually, but EG are giving them a lot of fights early on, which Strife is happy to oblige with. Four, 5, 7s in the P250 for EG here. 4 pieces of body armor as well. Only George doesn't have it. Next. Not too bad considering. In terms of damage from the nade, only down to 78. And Strife are playing defaults, Mike. They're just waiting for contact. You do have Aris pushing up to long bathrooms now, though, and he probably is going to catch off Junior. We'll see. He's clearing for it. Stamina's going to get Walco, and Aris gets Junior.
Big collection coming due. So now with a big threat out of the round. How does Strife approach this remainder? They've got a minute on the clock. Hex trying to get cheeky here in Con. Actually finds a dink, but deleted in turn. And we've got good old double rush going on. So it appears we've had a little bit of a disconnect. I'll be sorted out here in a moment. Lost Junito out of the server. The bomb is down. And I don't think this is going to be a contest from the remaining 2 players. Did they get rid of that op? I don't think that was a thing that occurred. So is it recoverable?
Which op?
Am I crazy?
Yeah.
I'm crazy. Never mind. Don't worry about it, John. It's been a long week.
Okay.
We had a week of just a lot of ECL for playoffs, you know. The CS, it blends together a little bit. My mind is mush.
Understandable. It's been a long week of a lot of Counter-Strike. George, he goes down. Aris takes care of him. And Rush doesn't even want to fight it. Says, you know what? I like my 5.7. I like my body armor. I'm going to carry that forward into the next round because we're going to need it. Maybe. They do have a buy-up coming through, and Junior's back in the server just in the nick of time. Yeah, going to be a full-on buy-up anyway. Rush gets to save a little bit of cash because he had the pistol in the armor. And that will go straight into his utility buy-up. All tied up, though. 10 to 10. 5 rounds in a row just like that for Strife to open things up here in this second half. We're back at pretty much square one.
I'm curious to see where EG go with this, right? Because they went very aggressive in their first rifle round. Now here's the second crack. The aggression was punished. We've seen that Strife are really content to play the early round slowly. So EG seem like they're ready to meet them. You had 4 in towards B early. That's anticipating perhaps the faster B play. That hasn't come to fruition. So smoke up in towards Monster. Presumably we see one of these 4 players rotate up. Indeed, that's going to be Rush coming up to support his offer. Junior now very passively postured as Strife continue to chew up this side of the map. Still, haven't found contact just yet. And a third player starting to float. Walco coming up in support. There's not a lot of utility on the site. But what there is may start to get dumped to provide some cover. Back off of this. Junior withdraws into the bank. They're so far back. Rush is a bit of an angle, though. Oh, Rush is a cheeky angle. Walco's dead. Rush capitalizes on the first, and he gets away.
Wow.
Still, decent situation for Strife, provided they can get the bomb down. No one's pushing up Con either, so there's no second element to this. There's no flank. Infinite wins that duel with George. Now things are starting to lean pretty handily. Bomb's not down yet. They're wary. Aris, a little nervous about planting, but a smoke up on towards the dumpster, and now he will get that C4 down and ticking. Goodbye, Aris.
Oh,
Never got off
okay.
the site. That's a problem. They knew he was here. They knew he hadn't escaped. Duel with stamina. Spot
stamina.
on. He
Did you
knows,
see it?
though. He's likely to be peaked.
Yeah.
Trying to bait the flick. The pass.
What?
That's a swing. That is a swing and a half, and Snake's the next victim. Plenty of time for the defuse, and this round is gonna go the way of the evil geniuses.
Stamina just got locked in that angle for too long, I think, and Junior came out and just took him down immediately. Even though Junior was hopping around, certainly Stamina saw his head. There's no question in my mind. He just wanted to hold that angle because he figured, well, that's where he has to come from anyway. So I'm not going to try and get that flick onto his head towards Truck. So doesn't matter anyway. Junior wins the duel. Evil Geniuses get a fantastic retake, and they'll come back into this one with their first round victory in the second half, 11-10, as the lead has been restored. They still have not surrendered that lead to Strife. Junior pushing up towards Fountain, peering over the tippy top of that smoke. And maybe expecting a boost here. Yeah, he was looking for exactly what just happened, but by the time he saw it, he says, you know what, I don't like what's materializing in front of my eyes, so I'm just going to go back to the safety of the A site and post up with my AWP there. Actually rotates towards long A now, as Infinite's going to have to use a smoke on this Molotov. Okay, eventually it diffuses it, but still Infinite took a lot of damage before the smoke connected.
Nothing like an awkward smoke bounce. That'll be fixed in Source 2, John. The smoke will actually have a homing beacon in it that's heat-seeking. It senses mollies and just flies in. It's physics, John. It's a physics-based engine. You wouldn't understand.
I probably would, but no, I don't think that's how it works, Mike.
Walco blinded. Oh, his vision clears just in time. Aris, you gotta clear your corners, but he was looking for contact with Junior instead, and now that's gonna be tough. They're gonna be forced in towards the B site because that was their lurker. EG haven't put that together yet, though. They're still keeping a third player up top. Rush might need to rotate down. I'll bet his teammates. There's a molly on Hex. Could dump that now. Indeed, they likely should. 24 seconds. What are you holding the Molotov for, Hex? At some point, it's got to go down to dirt. But that point may have been missed. Still, if they just kill everybody, that works too. Nades? They're for nerds, John. Just shoot.
Yeah. Who needs the incendiary? Hex is just going to kill them all with the bullets, and so will the rest of his team.
Look, I got
Nicely
a few
done.
matchmaking companions who got the same philosophy. Never get caught with nades in your hands if you just don't throw them.
Exactly. Well, I mean, look, Hex is playing so well, I can't really fault him for it. He's, in fact, the only player above a KDR of 1 on the team right now, and they have the lead. That's how well he's been playing.
He's frying. He has twice his next teammate.
Yep.
Took his next two teammates combined, they would tie his scoreline. That's astounding.
Unbelievable stuff from Hex.
It's even true because we had the Junior disconnect reconnect, but I think his stats got saved, so
Yeah, they did.
that's really astonishing. Right now, Walco looking for a fight. Snakes won't give it to him.
Maybe Junior's going to activate here. He is towards short A. Fight potentially coming his way. That's Aris. He's just having a peek down connector for now, and looks like he wants to make his way down short A. Junior watching more on the bathroom side than short A, and both players are just at a bit of a standstill. Strife, in the meantime, have the bomb peering in towards the B site. A couple of players taking the lead. The bomb on. Stamina's back, and Junior eventually does take down Aris here into the bathrooms, winning that engagement and giving his team the 5v4, but they probably don't realize the hit's coming to be. I guess they don't really have to realize it right now because they got 3 players here anyway. Stamina takes down Walco though. Infinite's going to get a second. Hex manages to connect on before going down, and Junior and George get 3 more combined, and that's the round for EG.
That's what you're looking for. Junior get activated. It's really interesting the way Strife is approaching these rifle rounds. It's basically the inverse of how 99% of teams run their T sides, which most teams leave a lurk outside of B and work control towards A, because obviously you need a lot more control towards A before you set up for the take. It's just the way the map is built. They're sending Aris to lurk A and keeping the team outside of B ready to strike if Aris finds too much contact. But Aris has not had a lot of luck lurking outside of A. It's a pretty tricky map to work solo on A. And, well, the bulk outside of B has not gotten them a whole lot of credit here. Hexed, another opening kill for his 26th of the game. They'll accelerate straight into him, and he doesn't even need to see. To pepper you on down. Might finally get caught here, but he's swinging every which way. He just wants another fight, and why not when you're hitting like this? Another 3-piece put up, and rush in for the last 2. Just a little putt of that round into the hole. EG 4 in a row now, starting to feel like they might just roll right into this finish.
Yeah, they really found their rhythm now. Once their economy is settled in, they have the foundation they need, and Junior's starting to hit his shots as well, and Hex continues to hit his shots. So he's not doubling up on everyone now, thanks to Junior getting up to 15, but he's pretty darn close. And you're looking at the other side of the server, Stamina, the closest player to Hex is 28 with 20 frags. So Strife needs rounds now, not frags. Well, both, obviously.
This is looking like it could just be a straight up accelerate. They've abandoned the lurk. They say, all right, the problem isn't that we're not getting control towards A. It's that we just need to have more running into B.
Yeah. I feel like this is going to work, Mike.
Maybe. Could do. Problem is Hexed is here.
They go.
Hexed. Looking like Terminator lately. They are going to go. Right, we got this info. Now he knows. Woo! All thought to come in from his teammate, blinded up. Hexed under pressure in a big way. Little smoke for cover, and George gets the first player out. Now the rotations are in, but Hex limited for once. Just a single kill. Problem is they're getting bunched up. Even with that kill, look at the damage that's been done. On towards the site. There's still an HE here on Rush. He's not going to throw it. There's still Molly on Junior. Junior now on the scene. He could deploy it. Won't. But Tower on the Snakes gets him ever lower. Could theoretically go for the save, but there's plenty of cash, so I can't imagine that's going to be the case.
No, they're going to flash out here.
G coming through. Now the util gets deployed. They're cutting off sight lines. They're dropping Molotovs into the air burst. Aris manages to get one off the 50-50 angle, and suddenly it's looking very good. Junior's out of there.
Wow.
Even get allowed? Oh, he's not getting out.
I think he hears him, so he's got to try and take this fight, and he wins it. Aris goes down. No.
1 HP? So. 1 HP, he's dead to bomb.
Should be able to get away.
Oh! All right.
What are you guys telling me?
All right.
I got Observer telling me, I got you telling me that he's going to survive. Come on.
1 HP,
the bomb wasn't on A.
1 HP, the dream. With the way they've expanded the bomb radius on certain maps, Inferno and Ancient, it's just... My guts tell me if you're not there, if you're not, like, across the world, you're dying.
No, you're fine on Overpass, at least for now.
For now. Source 2, the bomb actually just seeks you out. Comes at you with a vengeance. It gave the bomb an op in Source 2. It's crazy.
No, it's got little missiles that come out of it with like half the time remaining.
It's carried by a drone. It just seeks you out.
All that said, it was pretty good execute from Strife, Mike.
It was
just a straight-on, simple hit towards the B site. EG weren't really prepared for it. I mean, Hex did throw the smoke, but he goes down for free. George gets a couple, but after George goes down, there's really no one left, and they're on the outside looking in. Walco does get the opener, and can he get a second? No, it's actually, yeah, he will get a second. Rush goes down. Walco finds it. 4v3 in favor of EG as Walco swings around the corner to his doom, but there's another trade. As long as you're trading, you're good to go.
Yes, indeedy. And they're fortunately going to be able to grab the C4 without testing the sightline of Junior. He's not missing much. They'll take it towards long. It is the soft side of the map. This is a good read. The plant's going to be a tough test, but they can get it towards the site. Junior's piecing this one together. Is he going to realize they'll beat him to it? He's got an idea. Post it up. This is going to be very tough to cross the sideline. What do they got for util? Smokes, flashes. Okay, they can do this. Or smoke thrown. There's the execute. Oh, the smokes are both deep. The flashes don't catch. Junior has every moment to shoot. All on the snakes. And George will put him down. Map point found from the Evil Geniuses. They just need one more.
Evil Geniuses, as you mentioned, one more round and they head over to Strife's map pick of Nuke. And again, like I mentioned, EG have had their struggles on Nuke, but as of late, hasn't been the case. 3 wins in a row on the map. And one of them against Strife. I think that was 16-5. It was. So, EG's probably still feeling pretty good if they take this one.
Alright, hooker by crook, a dub's a dub. This one's looking a little dubby. George taking the initiative here. Aris already dropped damage onto stamina. Now he can fall away. Strife will have to spend a lot of time clearing out just to make sure they're not going to die around every possible corner. And speaking of dying around every possible corner, George wants another fight. And he'll get it.
Wow.
Collects on the damage he did earlier. Continuing to show face. Continuing to make their life misery over on the Strife side. And they are disjointed. They are disoriented. They are looking like they might be disappearing from this map. George putting on a clinic in this one.
George.
Could just be the ace in the final round. 4 kills found. They haven't even seen anyone else on the team, John. They haven't seen another player. This is actually ridiculous. Let George try it. Let George try it from the dice box.
Give him a crack.
Joel's going to give it a look. If he comes through that smoke, George is ready. Warning shots fired. The flank now on Hex. Starting to encroach here. This is the pinch. George spots the last. And he's got it. The full ace to close Overpass. Pure individual domination in that final round. That's a heck of a way to get our series started.
And brought himself up to a KDR of 1 with those 5
Why not?
frags. So good stuff for George. I mean, I love it when he pops off. Such an exciting player. Very dynamic in his movement and the way he gets those frags. And wow.